right, hi everybody. We are back with another Monday lesson, and today we are in the world of minor. All right, a lot of stuff to talk about today. My goal today is to show you how to break out of some of the boxes that we can put ourselves in, some of the boxes that we can find ourselves in when soloing, when grooving over some of these one chord jams that we often solo and groove over. All right, kind of like I talked about in my bass video a couple lessons back, we often find ourselves grooving over these one chord jams. Maybe it's two, maybe it's three, but it's really hanging on one chord, whether it be dominant or in today's case minor, and we get stuck. All right, so I'm going to show you some scales, show you some chord options to help us go into some uncharted territory, look at some new notes, look at some new options, and increase the sophistication of our solos and start actually speaking language. All right, so the first scale I'm going to dive into is one that we know very well. Even though if you don't know it by its name, you know the sound, you know the notes. All right, so it is our friend, the minor pentatonic scale. As I always say, pentatonic is heavily used in music. Everywhere you go, every genre that you listen to, I guarantee you will use some form of a pentatonic scale. All right, so today we're dealing with the minor pentatonic scale. Let's dive in. Let's look at it. All right, so we're in the key of C, per usual. All right, so minor pentatonic uses these numbers: 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, and then we finish off with 1. All right, like I said, you know the sound, you know the notes. All right, now the issue that we run into when we use this is that we can end up just burning through it, right? Repeating it up, coming back down, going up and down, not making musical decisions, playing as fast as we can, and just going for it, blazing. All right, in my last video, this most recent one, I talked about transcribing and transcribing rhythm, not only just to make sure that you're lining up with whatever you're transcribing, but to use these things to your advantage. All right, so now what I'm going to do is show you how to use this scale in a melodic way, in a musical way, but also in a rhythmic way to make some different options, to create some actual language, some statements, all right, to make your solos a little more interesting, a little more fun. All right, so check this out. All right, a lot of stuff in there, right? Move some rhythms around, move some notes around. Stayed away from starting on the 1 all the time. All right, did some octave jumps there. Did a lot of note repeating, just playing around rhythmically with one note and seeing what options we can create there. All right, so use these tools to your advantage when soloing, when grooving, just to see guitar players, make some riffs out of this stuff. All right, see what we can do, just kind of break out of our usual box. All right, now you saw me add a note. All right, now we're going to dive into more of what that is. I kind of went into the natural minor scale. All right, something that we rob ourselves of using. A couple of notes that we rob ourselves of using that we don't use that are available to us when grooving over one chord, in this case C minor 7. When grooving over one chord, we can use some of these extra notes to help us make some more musical decisions, some more melodic decisions. All right, so let's talk about it. Natural minor. All right, we're in the key of C. So we got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and then 1. All right. Couple different notes that we added there, right? And even with our chord, right, when we have our C minor 7 chord, we can add that D in there to make a C minor 9 voicing, just to give us some more color in that way too. All right, for all our compers out there, our guitar players, our keys players, our organists. All right, adding some different warmth, adding some different sound. Right, as I mentioned in one of my older videos talking about the 9 and 13, these things help add to your arsenal. All right, so let's look at how we can use this in a melodic sense to make some more musical decisions. Check it out. All right, so look at how much more options we have. Some more things that we can create out of just adding 2 more notes to what we already use, right? All right, now in that you saw me, again, juxtaposing rhythm. All right, use some extra notes, making some melodic decisions, octave jumps, also using my left hand, play some chords to help me out, some arpeggiating of some chords we're going to talk about in a second. All right, and you also saw me use in a very important relationship. All right, our relative minor, our relative major. All right, now if we're in the key of C minor, if we're in the C minor world, we can use E flat major to our advantage to get out of that minor bluesy sounding box that we often find ourselves in, and make some more melodic, major, prettier kind of sounds. All right, just to help break it up and to help take our listeners on a journey. All right, to get us out of this repetitive minor box that we find ourselves using. All right, so explore that, use that to your advantage. All right, now arpeggiations. When we are in C minor, the entire world is at our disposal. The entire world of C minor is at our disposal. So the chords that are involved, the progressions that exist. All right, so let me just show you a minor 2-5-1 for a brief second, and how we can use that to our advantage. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so C minor, right? Now, in the minor 2-5-1, for our gospel players, we often use it, you know, if we think E flat, this is a 7-3-6 move that we often call it, which is technically incorrect, but let's just dive back in. C minor, we're gonna use a minor 2-5-1. All right, so C, so our 1. On the 2, we're gonna use this half diminished voicing here. D half diminished. All right, so what I have is a tritone here. We got a D, an A flat here, and I have an inverted F minor chord. All right, then we go to G, our 5. We're gonna use dominant to lead us back to the minor, lead us back to the 1, right? But rather than just playing a regular dominant chord, we're gonna add some color to it, add some spice to it, all right? We're gonna use a sharp 9, flat 13 chord. You can also use a flat 9, flat 13 chord as well, all right? So, I'm gonna voice it like this for now. All right? So, I have my root here, got G, got the flat 7, F, all right, got my third B, think based off of G right now. All right, got my flat 13, which is E flat, and my sharp 9, A sharp, B flat, all right? Gives us some color, lead us right back here, or here, right, that minor 9 in there. Flat 9, same thing, but we're just gonna make that A sharp and A flat there. All right, gives another cool option there too. All right, now using those colors, we can add that into our soloing and kind of make our own progression in our head, right? If the rest of the band is just grooving over C minor, we can kind of use that option not only to keep us in C minor, to get us back into C minor, but to create some different options. So check out how it can be used. All right, so many more options, right, than just our 5-note minor pentatonic box that we find ourselves in. Look at that, all these notes that we're missing out on. All right, so as I always admonish you to do, explore this stuff. All right, let's dive even deeper. Now, in that last solo demonstration, you saw me add a different note, which was what? D flat. All right, common tool that we always use is the world of tritone subs. All right, have a couple different options, right? So in that case, I use D flat to tritone sub the G. Just thinking about that, right? So if we look back down our hands here, I showed you these voicing, right? Now, if I exchange the G for a D flat, kind of different sound there, right? If I add the G still up here, I create this dominant sharp 11 sound. That's really cool in our soloing too. Right back there. I can also think about the D flat scale and kind of use that to my advantage, right? Different color there, right? Some more options, all right? So, I'm going to leave you with this one, our harmonic minor scale, all right? Harmonic minor changes some things harmonically and melodically, right? Gives us just some more options to play with, all right? So I'm going to combine kind of two little mini lessons into one. All right, so our harmonic minor is very close to our natural minor, but we're just going to change one note. All right, so we got natural minor, right, so far. So we got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6. Then now we have our natural 7 to the 1. That gives us a C minor major 7 chord, which is the same C minor 7, but we're just going to raise that B flat. All right? Play it rootless, do some other things there. All right? So let's check this out. All of that, all right? So play around with these sounds, explore them, explore the chords, explore the melodic options that you have. There's a lot more to dive into, which I will do next week. So enjoy this week, practice, get you a friend, have a virtual shed, have an in-person shed, practice social distancing, please, using masks, all right? Have fun exploring minor. All right, use these tools to your advantage, add them to your wheelhouse, add them to your repertoire. All right, happy practicing, happy soloing, happy shedding. I will see you next Monday.